This half Yom Yerushalmi B'Savas Ma'aser Sheni in the article holds for Darshan. We are on that Lamed Dalet Amud Aleph at the fifth line down. Kadar Vichir Bava, which in the Vilna is on Chaf Aleph Amud Aleph, the second line down. Kadar Vichir. And just going back to what we learned yesterday, probably should have gone a few lines more yesterday. Sorry about that. We had a Chakira going with the gears of the Gra and the Leib Yerushalmi from yesterday. The Chakir was why can you be put in Bishar Azol? Is because it was nearly Makar Bazol. There was at some point that you could have been played in Makar Bazol, even now you're Makar Yoker. Or because you can take it back to that place. And Nafkamina is, of course, where they became expensive in the original place. If the issue is because that you can take it back there, there's no going back. Because back there it's the same price now. The issue is that was Biyoda when you were in that place to be played at the Shara Zol. So then, even though now it's Hokiru, even the Shara Zol place, still you were once there. It was Biyodcha, and that you retain that right afterwards. So it's being right for this. Because the Reb Chir Barva have a brother. Chir Barva was in Rome. Tamon, he saw them redeeming the type of figs, choshva figs, which were brought from Eretz Yisrael to Rome, like the Shara Azol in Eretz Yisrael. So you saw them being played in Rome, according to the Shar of the Eretz Yisrael. Again, Mefakin in the closer the Hacha, figs of Eretz Yisrael, Tamon in Rome, B'Shar Dacha, according to the price in Eretz Yisrael. Amar Mar Horilon. So he said, who paskin for you this? So the well, actually, so he didn't ask it. He made a statement. Amraman de Ore alone, he will pass in this way. It should be Ki Abba Chivli Bar Kirvia or Paskin Ki Abba Chivia Bar Kirvia, who said was the one who said that my ben Biyok was the ben Bezol Hukru Mokru Bezol. So that my were make kashar zol, and this case you can't take them back there, Yisrael. Why? Because they'll get ruined. Evidently, the figs were one directional. They make them from Eretz Yisrael to Rome, but not right back again. And since that's the case, since they get ruined on the way back, it must be that it was since it's biyodai to be played there, even though now there's no going back. Not knowing going back because it was Hukru there, but no going back because at this point they won't survive the trip. So therefore, you see, there must be that since Biyoda when Eretz Yisrael to be played, they should go in the Shara Zol, even though that they're in Rome. Now you can play there according to that Shara Zol, which you had left behind at that time, and that is the Leib Yerushalmi in the name of the Tal Torah. Okay, new issue. Tani mistakodam ad shekel mistakodam arabi tosefta. A person can make a profit. So, Sefton Perek Ma'aser Sheni Perek Gimel Brisa base. Person make a profit Ma'aser Sheni up to a shekel. In other words, for a 2 selah, he can make a profit up to a shekel. A selah has 2 shkolim, so that means a profit after up to a quarter, as we're going to explain. So the hechavida. How does this work out? So here we're going to change the gears again to the cross gears up. Rabbi goes with the cross. A dinar betraying money. A dinar here is worth 200 prutos. 2 is lavdafka because we know the precise sheer amount of prutos in a dinar is 192, like the Bavli says Kedushin David base. Ubad be'el betraying money mechamishin. But it's called Arbel. A dinar is worth 250 prutos. Okay, I don't know if that has to be specific either. V'hu boy mesan chamishin umesuk. He has to pay 50 prutos in order to transport the Ma'aser Sheni from here to Arbel. The Yoav labor train money chamishin, so we can redeem here 250 prutos on a selah, like he would do an Ad Be'el. So he's making a profit of 50 prutos, which is a quarter, which he would have had to pay if he would have taken the Ad Be'el. Only up to a quarter and not more. And because we find, this goes like in this he takes from Chaim Kanievsky, because we find such a thing by, as we said before, by Ma'aser Sheni, you're allowed to get out of a fifth, which is fifth mila bar, which is Zavias mila gav, fifth, which is a fifth of the new total, 250 out of 50 out of 250, which is 50 out of a quarter mila gav, 50 out of 200. So in any event, so you can the fact that it costs you 50 zuz to go to Ad Be'el, you don't have to spend those 50 zuz in order to get to Ad Be'el. You can be paid here in wherever it was. I don't think we specify the place for that 250. Again, when they do versus 250, but that's not important for our purposes. I think that's the way to read it. So I'm going to read it inside. I think I got the Gra out specifically to read it inside the way the Gra. Let's say this is the way the Gra goes. The way the Gra goes. It's time to start with Shega Aravias. Dinoy and Hacha betrain monin. Ubadbel betrain monin v'chamishin. V'uboy mesav meitan v'chamishin v'masik. The other one Hacha betrain monin v'chamishin. So up to that quarter difference, so he's allowed to be mistaker, which is a fascinating thing. You don't, since you could go that bell, spend 50 whatever prutos or that bell. Since you could, that's also going to be yodo as if, but it's as if you're not bell, and therefore you can technically you can you're not really making 50, but I guess you're saving 50 zuz. That's what 50 prutos. That's what you're saving, and that's a quarter in this case. The article is a totally different shot with involving hundreds of thousands of prutos. Much more complicated. I would venture to hazard, like I said yesterday, this again talking about specifically the Mai, and specifically where you had in mind to go to Ad Be'el anyway. So since you had in mind to go to Ad Be'el, so therefore, since it's the Mai, we'll let you be played as if you're not Be'el, and we'll let you, make you take all take everything there, all the prutos there, which you would have to carry. Obviously, not to have fruit of Ma'aser Sheni. I don't think I made that clear before. I'm not sure I appreciate myself to make that distinction, but we make you take. Normally, in this place, I'm repeating the case again. Normally, you have to pay. Here, you pay 200. You'd only be able to redeem 200 prutos on a seller, right? And you have to take the other 50 prutos, whatever it is, on whatever was on one seller. The other 50 prutos you have to schlep. So schlepping itself is going to cost you 50 prutos. But in any event, so then we're telling you, no, since you're on your way to Ad Be'el, anyway, you can be played here. According to Shai Ad Be'el, so you can play the 250 prutos on a seller, and then your 250 prutos are chulin. The seller is the Ma'aser Sheni, and you don't have to take all those prutos to Ad Be'el to be played there, and you also gain the 50 prutos so you don't have to spend on the expenditure in order to take them to Ad Be'el. I think actually you have to be on your way to go to Ad Be'el. Otherwise, I'm not sure it would be relevant. Unless you have to go there, and the 50 prutos you have to spend on the expenditure of carrying them, some reason, and you don't have to make that expenditure, and we let you get away with it. And that's from being mistaker up to a quarter. What is fascinating is that's Reb Chaim's interpretation. Yerushalmi is going to Reb Chaim, based on the Gra's Girsa. But the Gra himself is saying it's an issue, completely different issue altogether. It's issue Ribbis. And the question is, the guy wants to, what do I do with Meiser? Somebody wants to, 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 to be malva to a dinner to take there, according to Shara there. So you're giving you 250 prutos, 50 zuz more than it's worth now here, as because you're going to have to take it there anyway. But it's not ribis, because he's a makabel achrayas until he gets there, and those 50 zuz extra are the what it would be worth over there. Okay, a whole all different sugyas. Mamash about Mitzia sugya. Okay, that's very confusing. I hope that wasn't too confusing, but we're going to not going to pshat. Going like the Chaim Kanievsky pshat. Okay, let's go further. Oh, one more point. The article has the 500,000 instead of pshat because he keeps the words rebo in the Gemara, which we took out. That's important. Okay. So it says Gemara further. Tani, ain't by the Major Sheni, l'shem Sheni. Yeah. Tani, ain't by the Major Sheni, l'shem Sheni. Ella, ain't by the Major Sheni, l'shem Sheni, ella l'shem chulin. Well, that seems to be partial. The stuff that says in Mechal Major Sheni, b'derech mechira. Okay. Mechira, Sachil, the money is going to take on the Klushos Meiser, and the person's going to give it to Chulin. You don't say that you're selling Meiser Sheni. You are selling Meiser Sheni. You say Chulin. Semantics. But say I'm selling Chulin, even though it's not Chulin until the sale takes place. Because Bizarre Meiser Sheni to say I'm selling Meiser Sheni. Say I'm selling Chulin, quote unquote. Mishua Shalboy Hagatz. So you'll call your name Sheni. I feel Cain. So he says, is that even the case? Is it even the case where everybody knows it's Meiser Sheni? If the Rambam says yes, because Rambam Baskin said you should not say he should say Meiser Sheni because of Bizarre. So Abba asked the question, but the answer is yeah, Nechanami. Okay. Tani, anybody Meiser Sheni ela b'min almino. The Bryce says when you come to redeem Meiser Sheni. You can only reckon the value of the fruit according to Paris Chulin, which are of the same species, not according to Paris Chulin of another species. So it says, what do you mean? Not what would we say? We'd estimate the value of wheat based on barley, value of barley based on wheat. No, this is what it's about. It's necessary in the following case. Even two different types of wheat, you can't reckon the value of one type of wheat on the basis of another type of wheat, even though they're very similar in price. I think Shimtis is red and the other one's white. Shimtis is red and Ogdo is white. The sniper says that. I think I remember from elsewhere. Rabbi Chida said, Rabbi Elokeh Kishuin B'choros L'malchus. Rabbi took the Kishuin, the squash, which became right first, of course, no issue of actually recording. So now she was submitting, in order to send them to the malchus, to the government, to the king, as a present. The Koveh Meiser Sheni Shem Akol Oketz V'Oroketz, and he didn't wait till he had 10 of them in order to. Evidently, there was a very chashuv. In order to say one of them a Meiser Sheni, he would make the Meiser Sheni, identify it as next to the oketz, next to the stem of each and every one. Rows on kilim chatuchos, and you look at that, the area around the stem, which is actually the way we do it today. You know, the area around the stem, we look at it as if it was severed. So, Rav Yochanan boy shlemus, but the chatuchos, it says, what do you mean? If you're going to play them as if they're cut, they're worth less than being put in as if they're when they're sholim. I guess sholim lasts longer. It's more significant. So therefore, why would you see them as chatuchos if they're actual shlemos? Rabbi said yaus. He says, no, it's a good question. He's asking actually. Yaus means it's good. Rabbi Yonah's question is a good question. If you have two people who are partners in one squash, I'm sorry, the one has owns 10%, the other owns 90%. Shomer Omer Lo, Tain Chelkucha Vani Chelki. He said, do I say to them, so they say to the one who owns the 90% say to one other guy, you take your 10%, I'll take my 90%, and we'll divide up and then sell it? No, you don't do that, because then you're going to lose value, because 90%, 10% is not the same as value of 100%. Rather, you leave it intact, 10% and 90%, you sell it, and we get a higher profit. And here's the same thing. The kishuin, if you don't see them as the chatuchos, they're worth more because they were sold more. She sold for more. Kadar Rebbe, so this is like Shimba Rebbe. And it should say here, have a makpid al elaine, not mafkid, a makpid. Makpid al elaine, it's from the Gemara, Yerushalmi al elaine derumya, to have him as zalzlimba. So he was upset at the people from Drumya, from the south, that they actually cut the fruit in order to make a Meiser Sheni for less. Not Nastun bar kapara, the commanded bar kapara, and the kututa kamai, to cut up the fruit in front of him. Amarle, and Amarle, when he said to them, Tavhu klum, right? Is it good this way? Is it valuable this way? So they was trying to point out that Shudim as a Meiser Sheni was still whole. Akidun Mila Makarta Velotava. Now this of course is true. It's like when you chop up, it's not better. Mila Makarta Velotava, but what I was saying about you chop up, it's better. So it's true, it won't last as long. But right now, at the moment, they are they would be more valuable. Can you redeem according to the price as they are cut up? They have to redeem according to the price cut up, as if they're cut up or not, and it is not resolved. I would assume that, without looking at the law, of course, but I assume that the Rebbe's case about Meiser Sheni, Bisman Hazeh, it's the Rabbanon, so therefore was not makbid on precise value, and Rebbe could afford to pay as if it's shlemos. I'm not sure he was concerned anyway, but I guess evidently we don't care if it's chatuchos or not shlemos because it's only the Rabbanon anyway. The article brings down that from the Rambam and Shulchan Aruch, that since Meiser Sheni is going to be lost anyway, you're allowed to mechalel it on the basis shimtis agdu shimtis. So I assume that's also sending over here, although I'm not seeing it explicitly here. Okay, but that must be the pshat. Yeah, so he brings down the Goyim are in the things down. The article brings down that the Goyim are makel in terms of Piyam Ma'aseh Bisman Hazeh. They pay based on the Bavli that, of course, Bisman Hazeh you can be paid on any amount of Meiser Sheni out of Prutas. Therefore, this whole sugya is not nogea anyway. Bisman Hazeh. Okay, good point. Touche. Okay, so the Uh, Yeshua ben Levi Amar. Uh, Yeshua ben Levi is really it's a continuation, but we're already on the top of Lamed Ralph, so we'll leave him for tomorrow. It was long enough today.